Good morning. It is Friday, June the 5th, and our reading for this day is from the 38th chapter of the book of Job, verses 12 through 21. Have you commanded the morning since your days began, and caused the dawn to know its place, so that it might take hold of the skirts of the earth, and the wicked be shaken out of it? It is changed like clay under the seal, and it is dyed like a garment. Light is withheld from the wicked, and their uplifted arm is broken. Have you entered into the springs of the sea, or walked in the recesses of the deep? Have the gates of death been revealed to you, or have you seen the gates of deep darkness? Have you comprehended the expanse of the earth? Declare if you know all this. Where is the way to the dwelling of the light? And where is the place of darkness, that you may take it to its territory, and that you may discern the paths to its home? Surely you know, for you were born then, and the number of your days is great. So, a real, and many of you may know this story of Job, but a real quick right, version. Job, good guy, right? He has been prosperous. He has everything, but generally a good guy, somebody you'd like, somebody who takes care of that kind of thing. He loses it all, right? And he laments that. He grieves that, if you will, and in the end ends up blaming God. He has so-called friends that come to visit him in his loss, trying to give him all kinds of reasons why this happened. And they turn out not to be such good friends with their lousy advice. In this particular text, through all of that, now we're in chapter 38, so all of this has happened before. God finally responds. God finally talks to Job in this piece. Now it's not in our particular reading. One of the lines, 38 starts this response. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind. In verse 4, where were you when I laid the foundation of the work? Tell me if you have understanding. Here's this whole thing, right, where God is kind of saying, okay, if you and your friend, you know all the better, you know how this should be, you know fair is fair, and all that kind of thing, so where were you when I made the earth? Come on, let me know. If you want to be in the role of God, then you should know these things. God is God. Job is Job. And Job is not God. Now that sounds easy, right? But in the middle of loss and grief and difficulty, don't we start to sit back and say, hey, God, why not? Where are? Don't you think it would be fair if? Hey. And we get smacked in the face with the reality that life is grossly unfair. So what do we do with this peace? Where God is stepping Job back a little bit and saying, hey, who are you? And remember who I am, God says. First of all, there's a reminder here. It isn't ours to determine fairness. Jesus said that too when he talked about it isn't yours to judge. That is left to God. right? But we're called to have faith. We're called to trust God. We're called to put our frustrations, our grief, our lament, all of that, and we're called to lay that at God's feet. That's tough. Especially in the middle of difficult times. Right? But life won't be fair for us. Certainly, Job is a reminder of that. We do best here, and will always do best when we have an ability to work on our relationship with God. Put our time and our effort into having a relationship with God. That relationship will see us through. That relationship will help us in the toughest of times. God's not magical. Doesn't try to be. But God walks with us. And the more we grab God, the more we can go forward. Join with me in Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long.